The third question is, which been asked in 2014, if A is the length of a side of a cube, the distance between the body centered atom and the one corner atom in the cube will be. Very easy. If, read the question again, if A is the length of a side of a cube, they are telling that if A is the length of a side of a cube, let us consider a cube over here. Okay, we know that the condition for the cube is that all the sides are equal. Let us consider it as A. Okay, A is the length of a side of a cube. The distance between the body centered atom and the one corner atom is, they are asking the distance between the body centered atom, that is in BCC. Okay, and to the one corner atom, what is the distance of this one, they are asking. Okay, for this the two values you should know, that the length of a body diagonal. Okay, so the length of a body diagonal is root 3a, the total length of a body diagonal. If this is a cube, okay, so as I have showed how the body diagonal will be, that will be from one vertices to the another vertices, opposite vertex. Okay, so the length of this is root 3. Okay, similarly the length of a face diagonal is, so face diagonal means that means the diagonal that is present on the face. Like if I consider this face, so this is called a face diagonal. So the length of this face diagonal is root 2a. How it is determined? By Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so it's very important to remember the length of a body diagonal. Total length of a body diagonal is root 3a. Length of a face diagonal is root 2a. Very important. Now the question they are asking is the distance between the body centered atom and the one corner atom in the cube. They are asking what is the distance between the body centered atom, the atom that is present here, and the one corner atom. So it is exactly half of the body diagonal. Agree? So one atom is at the center of the body, one atom is at this corner, and this is body diagonal. So the length of total body diagonal we know is root 3a. So the distance between this centered atom and the corner is half of root 3a. So it is root 3a by 2. Okay, so the option is root 3a by 2. So option D is the correct one. Okay, so you have to remember those two values. Okay, and half of the face diagonal is root 2a by 2, like that. Okay, yes. So the next question is the number of octahedral voids per atom present in a cube close packed structure is nothing but a CCP structure. Okay, we need to tell the number of octahedral voids per atom present in a cube close packed structure. This has been asked in 2012 NEET exam. So it's a very simple concept. You have a direct formula for this one. Okay, see, in any cubic structure, tetrahedral void is equal to twice the number of atoms. Okay, for example, we have a FCC. What is the number of atoms in case of FCC? It is 4. Okay, so the tetrahedral voids will become how much? 2 into 4, that is 8. So direct answer. Okay, so similarly the number of octahedral voids will be, equal to n, means how many number of atoms we have, that much number of octahedral void we will going to get. So this is a formula you have to remember. Tetrahedral void is 2n, octahedral void is n. N is nothing but the number of atoms. Okay, so here the number of octahedral voids per atom present in a cube closed packed structure, that is CCP, is nothing but like a FCC. Okay, so as I told, octahedral void is nothing but n. So for a CCP lattice, the n value is 4, CCP is nothing but FCC, okay. The n value is 4, therefore the number of octahedral bond will also become how much? It is 4, okay. So you have to remember these two formula, okay. Directly you can answer for these questions. So similarly, we have a question, very simple question here, that is the percentage of free space in BCC cell is. So this is a question based on a packing efficiency, okay. The three derivation what we do. So here the direct question is the percentage of a free space in BCC cell is. They are asking for the free space, okay. So we know the value of packing efficiency for three type of a cubic unit cell, okay. Packing efficiency means in a given cubic lattice how much space is occupied overall, like in a total space available, how much space is occupied by the atoms is nothing but a packing efficiency, okay. So here the packing efficiency for a simple unit cell is 52.4. so throughout, like in a complete space available, only 52.4% space is occupied by the atoms. So whatever the left is nothing but a free space. So total 100 minus 52.4 gives the free space available. Okay, that is how you need to calculate. So these are like a direct value you can remember. So for simple unit cell, packing efficiency is 52.4 and the free space available is 47.6. Similarly, for BCC, 68% is occupied, free space is 32%. And like in case of FCC, 74.2% is occupied and the free space available is 25.8%. Okay. So the question they have asked is about the percentage of a free space in BCC cell. So BCC, the occupied space is 68%. So 100 minus 68, you will going to get 32. So it is option D, which is an answer, that is 32%. Okay. Now, another question here. These type of questions will repeatedly appear in all the exam. For example, this question been in a NEET exam 2000, at the same time Karnataka CET 2019, these questions were repeated and similar type of questions will appear. See, the question is, in cube of any crystal, A atom placed at every corners and the B atoms placed at every center of a face. So it is understood it's a FCC lattice. So the formula of a compound is, okay, it's a direct question. We have two atoms, that is A and B, where A atoms are present at the corners and the B atoms are placed at every center of the face. So what would be the formula? So there is a way to calculate the formula, like see here. So we have A atoms, we have a B atoms. So according to them, it's an FCC. Okay. So A atoms, where they are present at the corners, B atoms are at the face center. So we know the contribution of atoms which are at the corners. Okay. So that I have discussed in one of the video, just you can check out. Okay. So the contribution is 8 atoms into contribution is 1 by 8. So it is 1. Okay. Similarly, B atoms are there which is at the face center. So 6 faces will be there in the cubic unit cell. Okay. And the contribution of a face centered atom is 1 by 2. Okay. So this will become 3. So A is to B. So what is the value of A you got? It is 1. Okay. What is the value of B you got? 3. That is, the formula becomes A1, B3. Okay. This is how we are going to calculate. Now, so the answer here you are going to get A1, B3. Okay. This is how you need to calculate. Now, so we'll just discuss a little bit regarding these type of questions, that the question might appear like this also. It's again a FCC center. A atoms are at the corners, B atoms at the face. This will be the condition. Next, what happens? Among all the 8 atoms, 1 atom is missing from the corner. Means, so in a crystal lattice, I have 8 atoms. Okay, among 8 atoms, 1 atom is missing. So now, what the formula of a compound will be? So this type of questions will also appear. Very simple, like how we did, it's of the same method here. Instead of 8 atoms, how many atoms we have? We have a 7 atoms because 1 atom is missing and the contribution remains same. So here what becomes then? 7 by 8. Okay. So instead of 1, we are going to write 7 by 8 over here. So it is A7, B24. This is how we are going to calculate. Similarly, if the B atom, one atom from the center is missing, means instead of 6, we are going to write here 5. So it will become 5 by 2. Okay. So formula becomes different. So basic thing, you should know the contribution through which you can calculate very easily. So these are like a simple questions from the CET and the NEET. Okay. And the next question is about, for orthorhombic system, the axial ratios are A is not equal to B, not equal to C, and the axial angles will be what? You have to tell. Okay. So listen students, so this is the question regarding the Bravais lattice. Okay. So we know the crystal system. Okay, we know and we have studied the cubic unit cell. So the condition for the cubic unit cell that we have studied is A equal to B equal to C and alpha equal to beta equal to gamma equal to 90 degree. Okay. So similarly, there exist 7 types of basic crystal system. Okay, where all the angles may not be equal, may be equal, all the sides may not be equal, may be equal. Okay, so based on that one, the values are given here. So if you know the table of that 7 basic system, which we're going to call it as a Bravais lattice, so it is very easy to answer this one. Okay, and the crystal or the table writing is very easy. So just to concentrate students, I'm just going to write here in a minute over. Okay, see, C T O R H M tri. Okay, CT or HM tri. CT or HM tri. Okay, C means cubic. T means tetrahedral or tetragonal. Okay. O means orthorhombic. Okay. R means rhombohedral. Okay. H means hexagonal. M means monoclinic. Tri means triclinic. These are the names you have to remember. How we are going to remember? CT or HM tri. CT or HM tri. Now the condition. See, very simple. Just concentrate. A equal to B equal to C. Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma, that is 90 degree. This is a condition for cubic that we can remember very easily. Next, for tetrahedral, A equal to B not equal to C. Okay, 2 sides are equal where the third side is not equal. Okay. Similarly, alpha equal to beta equal to gamma, that is 90 degree. Simple. Okay, the same thing will repeat here. Next, for orthorhombic, A is not equal to B, not equal to C. Okay, but alpha equal to beta, beta equal to gamma, and those 3 are equal to 90 degree. Okay, so next one is rhombohedral. For the rhombohedral, the same thing from the first one repeat here. That is A equal to B equal to C. Means all the 3 sides are equal. But the angles here are alpha equal to beta equal to gamma, but not equal to 90 degree. Okay. So first 3, A equal to B equal to C, A equal to B not equal to C, A is not equal to B not equal to C. Okay, again the same thing will repeat here. Here all the 3 having the same equal angles of 90 degree, but the fourth one is all the 3 are equal but not equal to 90 degree. Okay. Similarly, for hexagonal, A equal to B not equal to C. The second one is repeating. So same table I am repeating here. Okay. For hexagonal, you have to write alpha equal to beta 90 degree, where gamma equal to 120 degree. So repeatedly your question will come on these two. Okay, A equal to B not equal to C, alpha beta equal to 90 degree, but the gamma equal to 120 degree. This is the only different. Hexagon, hexag gamma, hexag gamma. That is how you have to remember. Okay, now for the monoclinic, A is not equal to B, not equal to C. Okay, but alpha equal to gamma 90 degree. Okay, where beta is not equal to 90 degree. Alpha gamma 90 degree, beta is not equal to 90 degree. This is the only thing will get some difference over. Okay, the last one is triclinic. Same thing repeats here. A equal to not equal to B, not equal to C. Same thing for the monoclinic and the triclinic, whereas the angles are alpha is not equal to beta, not equal to gamma. Neither they are equal to 90 degree. They are not equal to each other. At the same time, they are not equal to 90 degree. Okay, so this is how you have to remember. CT or HM tri, or CT or HM tri. Okay, so these three, and repeat the same thing 3. Okay, and if you practice once or twice, students, it makes you like to practice very easily. When such question will appear based on this concept, you can answer it very easily. Okay, so now can you try to answer? So for an orthorhombic system, axial ratios means they have given the sides already, whereas the axial angles, so it is orthorhombic. Orthorhombic means it is CTR. Here comes. So it is alpha equal to beta equal to gamma equal to 90 degrees. So this is the answer. If you know that table, so answering is very easy for this type of questions. Okay. Yes. Now, next question which been asked in Karnataka CT 2010. Okay. The question is, which of the following is a molecular crystals? Okay. Very simple question. Theory related question. We know the classification of a crystal based on a constraint particles like ionic crystals or ionic solids, molecular solids, network or covalent solids, metallic solids, like that. Here, among all, which one is the molecular crystal? Okay, so molecular crystal are nothing but where the constraint particles or the ions will be a molecules. Okay, so if I consider this question, there are 4 options. Dry ice. Dry ice is nothing but what? Solid carbon dioxide. Okay, solid carbon dioxide is nothing but a dry ice. We know that carbon dioxide is a molecule over here. Okay, yes. Wait. Second option is quartz. Quartz is nothing but like a silica. So when it comes to silicon and the carbon, they're going to exhibit the network or the covalent solids. So this will not come under molecular. Okay. When it comes to rock salt, is nothing but a sodium chloride. Okay, so sodium chloride is an example for the ionic solids. By looking only we can see that one. Okay, now for the D, it's a diamond. So when it comes to a diamond, it is nothing but a carbon. So diamond will come under a covalent or network solids. So the only option I have is dry ice, which is solid carbon dioxide. We know that carbon dioxide is a molecule. Okay, so it is molecular crystal. So option A is the correct answer. Okay, the last question that I am discussing in this session is, an ionic compound is expected to have the tetrahedral structure if radius of a cation to the radius of an anion lies in the range of. So students, we discussed regarding this one. Okay, if you remember the table, it is very easy. So the question is that an ionic compound is expected to have a tetrahedral. So it is tetrahedral, as I told, 4 tetra. Okay, so I told you to remember how. If it is 0.4144. Okay, so which will be the answer over here? So 0.414 to 0.732, 0.732 to 1, no. 0.155 to 0.225, no. 0.225 to 0.414. So if the answer is 0.225 to 0.414, less than 0.414. I told you 0.4 means you had to consider 4. So 4 means tetra and the structure will be tetra. Okay, this is a simple trick you have to remember. So the answer is 0.225 to 0.414. Okay, so this is about some of the questions regarding a solid state. I hope you find it very easy. If you practice such type of questions, it will becomes where I have taken some questions where the different concept been explained very easily. Okay, if such questions will appear in your exam or when you try to solve some of the questions based on the solid state, it becomes easier to apply those shortcut tricks and all. I hope you find this video very useful. Okay, and in my next video I will discuss some more questions on this one, or we'll just move to some other topics. Okay, so if you find this is useful, okay, please like and subscribe to my channel so that I'll get encouraged. I can solve or I can do some more concept based on the CET and the NEET. Okay, thank you so much.